Whoa! It's Wulzy. Welcome back to the Jump Dash level request video. This is the first video I've made where the form's actually locked, so I can't actually accept new requests at this time, unfortunately. But hopefully the advice that I give in these videos still helps the people that are trying to make new and interesting levels. I don't know, I try my best. Why is this song not downloading? Okay, we're good. First up, we have Skybound by Dark-01 using Let It Out by Nash QP. Let's see what this is all about. Skybound. Ooh, cool color filter in the intro. Nice, this looks sick. I really like the design so far with the pipes leading up to the main block. This is cool. This is really cool. It'll throw me off because the colors of the orb decorations are much lighter than the blocks, but it actually looks sick. Okay, this looks amazing. Yeah, this is awesome. Love the shading on the blocks, and I love how the screen is kind of bouncing in. Okay, I dig the pride flags. Okay, this is neat. Oh, this UFO gameplay is hype. Ooh. I love the scenery, the screen's tilting, the radial blur was such a huge kick for this section. I really like how this level is formatted. It grew on me very quickly. It's not very often you see light details being used like that. Whoa, these camera controls are crazy. You see how I snapped out there? And the rotation here is sick. So these monsters kind of stick out above the ground. I think these are some of the weak colors we've seen in the level so far, but I like the grass layers in the background here. We're shooting up. Okay, this is hype. I dig this a lot. Some of the gameplay feels like it's a little bit short, or it doesn't like give you the full range of momentum. You know what I mean? Like if you hit a yellow orb too late, sometimes you can just die for no reason. If you don't click early enough in the ball, you can just kind of get trapped for the next timing. But I love these layered backgrounds. It looks so sick how we're so zoomed out here as well. Really gives you proper scale here. If I'm being honest, I think the particles could probably be a little bit more intense for like the background, like near the top where it's all blue. Because I like how we're shooting through the clouds, right? It looks awesome. But also I think it could probably wrap around a little bit at the top or have something else above there. Just because there's so much on the foreground, but not too much like, whoa. Whoa, skip? Hold on, I don't want to actually use that. I want to see how this ends. I think it's cool. I think maybe just to end it, we could zoom in. I think the first half was much stronger than the second. I think the colors in the first half were super impressive. Towards the end, they're good, but they're less focused, you know what I mean? Cool level. I think I'm gonna feature send this nonetheless. I think it's really impressive. But yeah, I think it was just the color filter throwing me off. I think I'm just a little bit colorblind at the beginning. The most impressive part by far is the second part when the level kind of snaps in right here. This is so cool looking. Yeah, this is a feature send for me. 9 feature. Bada bing, bada boom. Nothing else to it, really. Layer of the background is B5. Minus 37. Oh my goodness. Can I even put a gradient below that? Edit special. Yes, you can put background gradient. Okay. Next free is 422. Okay, we're gonna go into this and we're just gonna fill this in real quick. 42, 43, 44, 45, vertex mode. I wonder if we could just add a bit of density for the sky. If I make this copy the background color on it and then do the same but with like less brightness and more saturation, we'll just set out our objects real quick. Starting off with 422 and 423, I think. Starts off with bottom left and goes bottom right. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so now we have this gradient object that I'm just going to rotate to be darker at the top, maybe? Depends. I got to stretch this out a lot because this background is pretty tall, but we don't want it to be too dark here, otherwise it just kind of takes away from the vibe. So maybe we should make this second color a bit less dark and a bit more saturated. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to think for a bit of density what can be done here, because the desaturated blue kind of like washes out the whole thing. I'm trying to figure out how this level works, because at the moment it just disappears as soon as we see this cube, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how your level works. It just disappears for some reason. Yeah, this isn't showing up. Okay. Ha! I fixed it by putting a piece of glow instead. Oh, like if I just pause here and delete this glow piece, you see how it just looks a little bit flat compared to having that density? I just think it's a pretty common technique to make colors pop, especially when the rest of them are so bright. Also, to make some of these saw blades a bit more convincing, I think you could probably put a little bit of movement on them too. Just because they're in clouds, you know? Next up, we have Windtop Journey by Super Clowny using Rocking That Bass by Mr. Cool Tricks. We have low download levels today. I think both of these have been on like 50 with like very few likes. So I always love to see, whoa, that is a big zoom out. That rainbow looks so sick. Yo, okay. Love this. We have like underrated talent. Ooh, love the amount of detail in this, how much movement we have, and then the blocks lining up. Okay, cool transition. Maybe could have had a little bit of camera work just to hide the blocks kind of standing there before we went, but this looks sick with like the low opacity spikes in the background. And the rainbows that have this like gradient over the top. Whoa! Oh, the clouds! I didn't even notice them for a second. I thought we were just floating on thin air. Okay. I like these camera effects too. This is neat. I think some of these designs are a little bit strange just because of the block choices, but you've actually made them work pretty well. These colors are amazing. They're definitely picking up the level for sure. We have a drop section. Here we go. Was I supposed to... I was supposed to jump. I could not see that. Like, there wasn't much indication on the right. Okay, here we go. Nice. Okay, we have the zoom out. We have the big section. Again, block designs are pretty flat, and this seems a little bit more empty towards the end of the level. I think it's really hard to decorate zoomed out sections. If you do it right, it's amazing. But for that section, it didn't hit quite as hard as I think was intended. We use a lot of rainbows. We use a lot of single block designs. We use a lot of glow above the level. I think maybe taking that glow and making something a little bit more creative with it would do better. But I love the movements in the beginning. You set the tone so well. Definitely try and diversify the block choices here. Because these designs do look good, yes, but they don't like stick out, you know? They don't have extra details that are making them a little bit more memorable. Okay, we are using gradients here. I'm guessing black blending or black and like additive settings, maybe? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So if we just add this to a group, say 82, let's just test. Can we do what I think you can do? Just grab an alpha trigger, set it to that 82 and fade it off. You can. Okay. So for sections like these, I would maybe add like a breathing effect just to turn it on and off and just kind of make it feel a little bit more dynamic here. But what you can definitely do as a better example, let's just say this gradient, right? So this section's a little bit more upbeat, right? And we have this constant gradient. This actually works. Let me choose a better part, like this one, where we have a lot of beats over and over again, right? I personally would be taking this gradient object and making it kind of fade in and out. You can easily just sync up, say with this alpha trigger right here. Take 83, turn it down in its opacity, down to not even 0. You don't even have to go to 0. You can just go like a little bit down. And let me see how you've synced this. Okay, we're just gonna line this up exactly as you've lined it up, just so it works. So I'm gonna put the effect line on. I'm gonna line it up with our last move trigger. There are 15 total move triggers. We have 2 alpha triggers so far. So if I copy paste 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 1, 2, 3, we should be able to just select all of these and then align them on the X, just like this, and get the same... Is that not how you've done it? Dang, I thought I was being clever. Okay, well, we'll be close enough. We'll be close enough. If we change the fade time a fair bit and kind of put it beforehand, it should be okay. I was gonna sync it perfectly to the way that you did the movements, but I guess you didn't like evenly space them. That's fair. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm basically fading out this gradient over the top and making it fit in a bit better. This one can go off. So it fades out and you can control the colors based on how the level's feeling. Maybe even put a hue change 180 degrees like this. Yeah, and then we can just do it again right here to get it back to normal. Yeah, okay. So we have this quick change in hue just to mix that up. I just think having the constant gradient is a lot. So now when I go through this section and save and play, this is gonna make more... Oh, we have to... Dude, we have to reset the camera. That's a good tip with start positions. If you have a lot of camera changes in the level, you're probably gonna wanna just set this right before a camera change and reset it. So as you go in, it works, okay? What? What? Is that not what it does? Did I click the right button or am I just silly? Reset camera. What? Huh. Call me an idiot then. I guess we're gonna deal with this zoomed in camera for a second. There. Here we go. It feels a little bit more energetic having that gradient fade in and out and having that color change where it makes sense. But yeah, love the rainbow colors here. You did perfect here. I think the same thing could be done here. And there's a lot of bright details that kind of just awkwardly sit across the screen too. Probably not going to be sending this one, but it's really cool. Thank you, Super Clowny. Next up, we have Fading Star by PK727537 using Creo Dark Tides. This one has 2,000 downloads. Let's take a look. Okay, particle effect to start off. Ooh. This is neat. I love the atmosphere in the beginning, the dark sections around the outsides of the screen, and then these glow beams that are lighting up certain parts. And obviously this big rotating background too. This is neat. Okay, I dig it. You can skip a couple of those pads there, but that's fine. The movements are cool. The dark spikes fit in. The soul blades look nice as well. Good details all around so far. I like the energy here. This is sick. These movements are immaculate. I like that color change. These are great so far. Okay. Some of the designs felt a little bit empty there, especially around the tops and bottoms. Like, there's no ground spikes or anything. This part's kind of just, like, held up with a bunch of floating blocks and saws that sometimes break, apparently. But, you know, it kind of feels a little bit weak just to, like, attach this part onto the next one. We're kind of just floating in thin air. Cool title screen. You can see the blocks coming up towards us. I would prefer we just had, like, a little bit of a block to land on. But these colors are amazing. Love the background, how it fades in and out there. Dude, these toggling effects are awesome. A lot of these structures, same thing again. They're just kind of pillars. There's no ground spikes to really, like, make the part feel whole. And we're just floating with, like, invisible gaps between sections. So maybe a bit of like tweaking could be done just to patch up the level in the sections where it draws me out a little bit, because otherwise this would be a really engaging level. The way the effects are being drawn in and out, I feel like it kind of just loses some of its momentum just by running out of gas at times, and also not like fully decorating the areas around the outside. But yeah, this gameplay is good. I actually really like it so far. The backgrounds have been very circle focused all the way through. Feels like it's the same effect with some different objects, but yeah, gameplay solid. I'm thinking a rate send on this one just because it feels a little... The colors are so good, don't get me wrong, but it does kind of offer itself fully within like the first 20% of the level. And that one wave section in the middle was hitting too. So I think I'm being too harsh with it being like circle based, you know what I mean? I think that was a bit of a strange criticism to give, but here's what I'm thinking, right? As an effect creator myself, I have my opinions on how certain things are put together. With some of the backgrounds, it seems like it's the same one. Really? So it's the same background all the way through? Really? There's no way. Is it the same one? Huh. Okay, well, let's just take this. We have the object made out of these ground spikes, okay? You can do some cool stuff in 2.2 now, where you can scale these objects too and like add another layer to it. So say we're going through, it's all the same background, right? We get to the wave section, however, and this thing starts to scale. Whoa, this thing does a lot actually. Whoa, it does all of that. Let's just give it the group on 94, and we're gonna just scale it up and down because why not, dude? 1 second. We're gonna divide it by 5 first. So these are all going to disappear on their own axis. Every object that is on group 94 will just scale down on itself, not collectively as a group. I can't see the duration lines. I was hoping that 2.2 would fix this issue where the duration lines don't load, but I guess it doesn't. Then we're going to times by 5. Then we can probably times by 5 again, if I can actually see the duration line. Thank you. We're just going to add like a little scaling pattern that kind of just increases and decreases it in its size. Because I want to observe how the background could maybe be made a little bit more interesting to the point where I didn't really find it repetitive, just by changing little things in itself. So let's put a stop pause at this wave. We'll go through. I'm just going to look at how these objects kind of scale. So it goes down and then it gets much bigger and this layer is kind of going in and out. Not as impactful as I would have hoped, but you can definitely do some interesting things with it. Maybe if I made that effect a lot faster. I'm going to do a new loop where it scales up 2 times first and then it divides down by 10 like this and then it times it by 10. And these two are going to be the ones that loop just like this, just to hopefully show what I mean a bit more so it's kind of a bit quicker. Yeah, you could definitely do some like scaling things here and kind of add to the toggle effects that you made with maybe some different movements and stuff just to make, okay, this does not fit at all, but you get the vibe, right? And again, with what I said with the decoration, also, yeah, it is really the same background. I think I'm going to put a rate only on this. Design's really good. They're a little bit samey once they get used a lot. I think they copy pasted like pillar to pillar. Simple fixes. You're a cool creator. I'm going to follow you and I'm going to send this for a rating, I do believe. Next up, we have Exhaustion by Formora using Extrella and Helixix. Right, I've got to get the Roman numerals right this time because in the last episode I couldn't do it. XIX. So that means that it's 10 plus 1 before 10. So it's 19. Or is it IXIX? Oh god. I'm just not even gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother. Holy crap. Let's take a look. Ooh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. This is really cool looking. Very minimalistic in its object usage, clearly. But this is cool. I love the amount of lines here for the grass. It really helps the level feel tall. Whoa. Makes me feel small as a player. That's what I'm trying to say. I like these glow objects. This is so abstract. This is so cool. Love this. The song is so like laid back and minimal too. Same as these particles, like they don't stand out with too much contrast. This is cool. I like these particles that are going around this like sun type object here with the lines through. This is really moody. I vibe with this a lot. I'm looking to see one more like crucial change to the level. Here it is. Ooh. Ooh, I like these big ice spikes. It's interesting. The lack of gameplay and the lack of recognizability is kind of hindering it for me. Like what I loved about the beginning was the creative color usage. I think it was very somber in the middle, the way that you kind of stripped back that color. But right now, what I'm seeing straight away is like a lot of creative color usage where you've got a dark foreground, a light middle ground, and you've got like light, colorful spikes that we're avoiding in the beginning, right? We have the cool dark background. And I like that structuring to start off the part. Like there's a lot to keep me engaged here, but it does kind of lose steam a little bit in the second half. So I think I would put this as a featured rating because this is a very interesting level to look at, right? It looks cool. I just think it kind of punches below its like heights, you know what I mean? The second few parts, the second half, I mean, just being a little bit more like subdued than the rest. Because the beginning had stuff to chew on. This second part, I'm kind of just watching it play out. I can't really put my vision to anything. There's no distinct foreground or background. It's kind of just like we're floating in space. Feels a little bit less focused on like the detail in it. So I think I'm gonna put this, was it a 2? I think that's a 2-star, to be honest. Come on, please, Rob. No epic, though. Thank you. So laggy. That's true, but honestly, it kind of made the level feel uneven. I liked that. And I think that's enough for this episode of Level Requests. Thank you so much for watching. Check the links in the description. Leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.